Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News on 3FM 92.7. My name is Beatrice Adu. The news is also live on Kesmi 107.1 FM and across the world at 3news.com. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Inspector General of Police requests the Electoral Commission's roadmap to aid security arrangements for the collation and declaration of Ablekuma North parliamentary election results. We have live update from ongoing meeting of the Election Security Task Force.
It has unfortunately become a flashpoint of contention. Both the New Patriotic Party and the National Democratic Party have declared victory, leading to rising tensions.
We'll bring you all the details also. Global audit firm Deloitte to submit audit report on controversial National Cathedral project by end of May. Details as President John Mahama reaffirms his commitment to fighting corruption.
A cornerstone of our commitment to good governance and accountability is tackling corruption and eliminating waste. I promise to initiate inquiries and forensic audits.
We'll bring you details of that. Meanwhile, opposition NPP describes 120-day tenure of the Mahama administration as a complete disaster. Stories and more in the next few minutes. Let's start from here. The Inspector General of Police, Christian Teteonu, has asked the Electoral Commission to provide the police with a roadmap for the collation and declaration of Ablekuma North parliamentary election results. The IGP says that the police is fully prepared to provide security support if the EC decides to resume the collation process. Ablekuma North remains the only constituency yet to be declared after several failed attempts by the EC to collate the 2024 parliamentary election result. Mr. Teteonu was speaking ahead of the meeting of the Election Security Task Force in Accra.
It signifies our shared responsibility to protect the sacred will of the people. Today, we gather at a critical juncture. The collation of results for the Ablekuma North constituency has unfortunately become a flashpoint of contention. Both the New Patriotic Party and the National Democratic Party have declared victory, leading to rising tensions. The eyes of the nation and indeed the world are upon us to see how we manage this situation. Our task is both singular and profound to ensure that
And we'll hear more from the IGP, but let's cross over now to the police headquarters where we do have our correspondent, Noble Crosby-Annan, who's been monitoring this for us. Noble, just bring us an update whether or not indeed this meeting is currently underway.
Right, Vicky, so the closed-door meeting is underway. It is happening as we speak. Earlier was an opening session, if you like, that had the media present that saw the IGP speak, as well as some other officials from the Election Security Task Force also expressing their commitment to ensuring that finality is brought to the situation at the Ablekuma North constituency. You know that after several attempts, the Ablekuma North constituency, they still, up until now, do not have a member of parliament. So the police service says that they are ready and they're waiting on the Electoral Commission to provide them a roadmap, and that would include a date and a venue for the coalition exercise to take place. 3 more polling stations is what we're waiting for right now, so that we can declare either one of the 2 women on the ticket of the NPP and the NDC as winner and loser of the Ablekuma North constituency parliamentary election result.
And I know, Crosby, that there have been this back and forth between the police administration and the Electoral Commission, including what I call exchange of love letters, as it were, the blame game, I mean. Was there any direct response from the EC to the comments by the RGP?
Well, not directly, because the seeming blame game is inferred, is deduced from the comments by the Electoral Commission. So the Electoral Commission has maintained that they are waiting on the police service to ensure that, or to assure them that they will be able to protect the returning officer for the Ablekwa North constituency parliamentary election results. So that has been the position of the Electoral Commission. Now the police service is telling us that they are ready. Now you tell us where you want us to protect you at and when you want us to protect you, and then we'll get it done.
Thank you so much, Noble Crosby and his man at the police headquarters, just hanging around with this meeting going on between the police administration and the Election Security Task Force, and we'll bring you more as and when we do have the latest on this. Let's continue to listen to the IGP who spoke earlier ahead of this meeting, which is currently ongoing.
The election process is conducted in peace, fairness, and full compliance with the law. We as security agencies are not arbiters of election results. That responsibility lies solely with the Electoral Commission. We have to secure the environment within which the truth is determined, not to decide the outcome of ourselves. On our part, the National Election Security Task Force will deploy personnel firmly, yet with restraint. Our presence will be visible but not provocative. We will act swiftly but not recklessly. We will remain neutral, both in appearance and in action. Furthermore, we will guard against any attempt by anyone to distort this process through threats or violence. Before today's meeting, representatives from the Electoral Commission and the session of the POMA met to discuss the way forward for Ablekwa. The EC was represented by Mr. Shared understanding of the exercise and its procedures. In this regard, I would urge the EC to provide the National Election Security Task Force with a roadmap with respect to date and place for the finalization of the collation. Colleagues, history often refers on nations tested by pivotal moments. This is such a moment. The way we handle the situation in Ablekwa will resonate across the country. It will set the tone not only for this election, but also for public confidence in the years to come. Let us secure not just ballot boxes, but also believe in the system. Let us protect not just physical lives, but the spirit of democracy. Let us stand firm, not in confrontation, but in conviction. Ghana deserves nothing less. Thank you, and may wisdom guide us throughout this process.
And I had the Inspector General of Police, Christian Teteyonu. Some 8 minutes past the hour of 12 now, President John Mahama has disclosed that an audit report on the controversial National Cathedral project will be completed later this month. The president, in his address to the nation, responded to criticism that no action had been taken to investigate the alleged $58 million spent on the abandoned project, even though promised in his 120-day social contract with Ghanaians. He noted that a full-scale audit is currently being conducted by auditing firm Deloitte.
A cornerstone of our commitment to good governance and accountability is tackling corruption and eliminating waste. I promise to initiate inquiries and forensic audits into several critical matters of public interest. This war against corruption continues unabated. The Minister for Health is reviewing the Auditor General's report on the COVID-19 expenditures. After the review, the appropriate actions will be taken. The Sputnik V scandal is under investigation. The Minister for Finance has launched an inquiry into the collapse of indigenous banks and financial institutions. And make no mistakes, facts will be unearthed, culprits will be punished, and lessons will be learned. The Minister for Energy and Green Transition has commenced investigations into the PDS scandal. Deloitte & Touche is conducting an independent audit of the National Cathedral project. I expect their report by the end of this month. A number of officials have been invited and questioned concerning the 13th African Games. On April 30th, 2025, the Attorney General filed 11 charges against a former National Signals Bureau Director General and others for various offenses. Charges will also be filed in the Accra SkyTrain and the National Service Ghost Name scandals.
Well, the president also says that the achievement made under the 120-day social contract form a strong foundation for building a resilient Ghana. He said that key initiatives such as the proposed 24-hour economy policy are in the pipeline as part of efforts to drive sustainable growth and job creation.
The Youth Employment Agency is set to launch the Graduates in Corporate Support GRICS program, which will attach graduates to firms operating 24 hours a day. This program is targeting 20,000 graduates. The YEA is also partnering with security agencies, the fire, police, immigration services, to provide security for 24-hour firms, and is working towards training and deploying 23,000 recruits for this purpose. Recognizing the need for robust security, the police service is establishing a 24-hour police unit to improve 9 patrols and utilize technology supported by nationwide sensitization. The Minister of Energy and Green Transition is engaging the PURC to set up smart metering with a time of use tariff, charging a lesser tariff during the off-peak hours, a direct incentive for enterprises on the 24-hour economy policy. The Minister of Finance and Presidential Advisor on the 24-hour economy policy is finalizing a list of incentives for businesses to sign up for the initiative.
You heard the President John Mahama giving his account of his 120-day tenure as President of Ghana, and staying a bit longer on this because Deputy Presidential Spokesperson Shamima Muslim has also praised President Mahama's performance during his first 120 days in office. Listen to exactly what she said.
This was a status report, and my key takeaway is that we should join hands to build this Ghana we want. Because this new Ghana we envision will not be built by only political leaders. It will be built by all of us contributing to the cause. And you did say, it's almost like you've set your questionings for yourself as a teacher and you have your marking scheme. So His Excellency sets his questionings and he has his marking scheme. And from our marking scheme, based on our motive and our intention, if you look at them, again, we as a communication unit, we went through the entire 25 promises. And we can confidently say that of the 25 promises, 20 have been done and 5 are in various progress states or status. And so if you look at his speech, he has explained for those areas that people have concern about, for example, COVID-19 levy.
Yes.
He's given us an explanation, which is a very tenable explanation.
And you heard the Deputy Presidential Spokesperson Shamima Muslim. 13 minutes past the hour of 12. When we come back, we'll bring you more regarding what the opposition NPP has been saying about this 120 days of President Mahama in office. Don't go away.
Ghana. It's a new year and Bills Microcredit is here to support your dreams. If you're not working but want to start a business, don't let money stop you. With just your Ghana card, you can get a loan to turn your ideas into reality. Already running a business? Need more capital? Or are you a salary worker looking for extra funds? Bills offers fast and easy loans with no collateral, no deposit, and no SUSI savings required. Wherever you are, whatever you need, Bills makes it happen. Call Bills Microcredit today. Call 0596 920 833 or 0302 200 390 and get started. Bills is licensed and regulated by the Bank of Ghana. Bills, financing your needs. Terms and conditions apply.
Freezer, yeah, diaba. Adama for diaba. Hey, freezer. Adama. Akuafo se manhia Adama metemoso ma sore kane no obobo mu ase a adwofrefre no bi amienu miensa na se nan atene wotimi di akwase Adama fo adwena akuafo ho ahu se ye de aduro ba kope e be chifu ye bia high technology akofo freezer ba wenku a eno so benya 15 latest no hwiegum watia no hwiegum What the boss here? For you be any of us, you equity say, Obachimono. Then we sure say, mention Tassia. Then what's enough for now? Freezer, power up at the freezer.
Dacia, a person does so among Amoniaji.
Me what's he got? Me. But you may not do some doom. Adama, with that Adama, no queer. Adama, you can't resist.
Ubenya Adama West Africa for a dream or baby bear a tongue cry on you. I say Kayona Kinkai in Choya a dream.
16 minutes past the hour of 12. Thank you so much for staying with us on 3FM 92.7. Now, the New Patriotic Party says that the governing NDC administration has failed Ghanaians despite touting its achievements in the first 120 days in office. Minority Leader Alexander Apenyo-Marking at a news conference today cited the Assets Declaration drive by the president as an afterthought.
Fellow Ghanaians, it's not a matter of political disagreement. It is a matter of deliberate national deception. And as you are well aware, this is not just a speech. It is a call to remembrance and resistance. It is a forensic audit of the presidency that campaigned with the agency of a reformer, but now governs with the indifference of a ruler long exhausted by ideas. I dare say that the lame dark days of President John Dramani Mahama has already started. Today, let it be said plainly to every Ghanaian, you were not given a reset. You were sold a recycled failure. And now the clock has run out. Accountability must take center stage.
The MPP also said that the government has failed to ban galamsey despite campaigning heavily on it.
The rivers continue to run red. The forests are gashed open. And the president who accused Nana Akufo-Addo's administration of inaction on illegal mining and promised decisive action offers excuses. The government's inaction on illegal mining is not just disappointing, it is a betrayal. While in opposition, the NDC loudly declared that if elected, they would impose a state of emergency to confront galamsey head-on. But 120 days into the government, not only have they failed to do so, that they have completely abandoned the agency they once preached. Illegal mining continues to devastate our rivers, poison our land, and displace entire communities. The promised state of emergency has vanished, replaced by silence and inaction, while the sector minister sheds crocodile tears.
And you heard the Minority Leader Alexander Apenyo-Marking. This afternoon, we look at the leaked memo intended for the national security from Kwabena Duboahin, the former Director General of the National Signal Bureau, but found its way into the public domain. In that memo, the former spy chief has intensified his defense against corruption allegations. He says that the 960,000 Ghana cedis from Special Operations Funds were used to pay allowances to members of Parliament's Defense and Interior Committee to facilitate the passage of the National Signals Bureau Act. This claim exposes staggering expenditures on the national security and intelligence operations. The claims further included some 8.3 million Ghana cedis for quote-unquote communications equipment for an opposition party. Eduwahin said and his wife were formally charged by the Attorney General Dominic Ayene over corruption offences to the tune of 49 million Ghana cedis. The development also led to an Accra High Court remanding him into Yoko custody for 7 working days. And we'll be speaking to a security analyst very shortly on this.
Accra, Ghana, Africa, and worldwide. Join us on Inspirational Gospel Mix this and every Sunday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m.
And you're still here on the Midday News on 3FM 92.7. Let's speak to Dr. Victor Doke. He's a security analyst and lecturer at the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center. He joins us live on the phone. Good afternoon to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Now, in the leaked memo of the former, Mr. Duwahin that we're talking about, the former National Signal Bureau boss is threatening to expose other top officials the Bureau provided services to, coupled with the already figures he put out and who benefited. Let me first of all find out from you how you see this impacting on the ongoing process.
Well, with regards to the process, in terms of litigation, well, I would have thought the gentleman in question and his lawyers would have done the needful with regards to providing information when necessary as the preliminary, investigations started. These kind of information should have been given earlier on for the authorities to now put the dust together, invite all those who needed to be invited, the list he has come out with. Now it has come out. It still doesn't change anything yet, but all what it does is now raises questions as to who in particular he is talking about in the parliament section, in the various agencies that have been mentioned, and beneficiaries with regards to the operations that have been conducted. So I think with regards to the process, for me, it adds a little bit of information to the whole process, which we are yet to unravel as a whole.
In this memo, he reveals quite sensitive information. Does his action put the national security apparatus in jeopardy in any way?
No, I don't think so. Looking at exactly what he has put out, now he's mentioned that they paid or gave funds to a certain operations. Now, with regards to operations conducted, it's not something that is shielded in secrecy. We've known about operations that have come out that have been conducted by the security agencies. So these are not something that will put the national security in jeopardy. But then it raises questions as to how, the monies were spent, who received the funds, and then the processes about how the monies came about, and whether the operations were necessary, the outcome, were they monitored, what was the evaluation done, the risk assessment done with regards to whatever threat that we faced that warranted that operation. Did these operations even existed? These are the questions that we are yet to answer. But as to whether it puts the national security agencies, institutions at risk, it does not. Now, when you talk about the security sector reform or security sector agencies, you're looking at successes, and one of the measurables is how transparent and accountable the security agencies will be. So, if this process is going to lead to further making the security agencies accountable and transparent to the people of the Republic, it's in the right direction. However, if this is for personal and parochial gains, then I think those who are involved and behind will find themselves wanting.
We'll have to end it here. Thank you very much, Dr. Victor Doke. He is a security analyst and lecturer at the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center. Now, a community in the Bumpurugu district of the Northeast region, Nanik community, is facing serious crisis following a conflict with Bimbago that has resulted in the loss of over 4 lives and the destruction of homes and food supplies. Many residents are now without shelter and struggling to find food. Recently, the Northeast Regional Security Council urged the affected residents to return to their homes and begin resuming their daily activities. However, this call has been met with distress as the situation on the ground remains dire and many families are still grappling with the aftermath of the violence. In the light of these struggles, the residents of Nanik are calling for immediate assistance. Solomon Kwame Kanawule has been following the story. He joins us live on the line. Solomon, just tell us what specific types of aid the residents of Nanik are asking for.
Hello, thank you very much. The people, once the conflict actually started, they were not able to move most of their properties out of their various houses. And when you go to Nane, almost everything, belongings, food items, let's say the clothes they wear, they have nothing. So as it stands now, the people are calling for peace. Ghanaians to come and support them with food items and clothes that they can wear. Some of them are also worried. As it stands, they are buildings, they don't have a roof to work on it. So they are calling on individuals to come and support them, rebuild their houses. Their major concern is the food aspect.
All right, but are you able to provide us an update as regards the discussions between the Northeast Regional Security Council and factions involved in this conflict?
All right, yes. As I'm speaking with you now, the Regional Security Council are still in a meeting with the Bimbago section. Yesterday, they met the Nanek group, and this morning, they are with the Bimbago group, and they are still in talks. What came out of it yesterday, the regional minister spoke and he said to the Nanek group, they said they are actually coming down and they don't have any plan to attack any group. What they are looking for is peace to come. And so whatever decision the Regional Security Council will take, they are ready to also go by it. So as it stands now, the Regional Security Council is still in talks with the Bimbago section. So whatever comes out of it, I will give the update.
Indeed. Thank you so much, Solomon Kwame Kanawole, a man following up this conflict in the Northeast region. Let's listen to the regional minister, Ibrahim Tia.
They were appealing, very humble. And truly, since the attacks have started, 3 separate attacks, 2 attacks in 2024, and then 1 attack in 2025. And then with all this, they have never retaliated. And they've never even attacked anybody in the Nanik town. So really, when we went there and saw the families yesterday, we were really touched. But as a result of that, we will now kept a security post there. And we intend to beef up the security in Nanik. And then we are appealing to the citizens to return to Nanik so that they can do their farming. Else, if they don't farm, there's also another problem that is awaiting them.
You had the Northeast Regional Minister, who is also the head of the Region Security Council. Some of the victims spoke to us earlier. We can listen to them.
That's 4 o'clock. 4:30 time. Ana yehu se na 2:22 yehu baby free. Ana Nyankopon so da wurama. Ana yetimi pie chasa na yi wo bodi ja no pokura be tu ye fie pokura na. Ansa na yetimi ye pie ye ne ye ma.
Omo hyedan nyina awie nti no. Nti asan ba kula nya ba binda. Tie be se nyino na se mensam bi na aka. Nti ye nyina ya ba kula mpa entimi mboa anu enkwada den be se ba ho na se mensam.
And you heard some victims of the Bumprugu district conflict, the Nanik community there. My name is Beatrice Adu. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Log on to shrinews.com for more news. Coming up shortly is Business Daily with Bismarck Awusa.
Busy on this frequency, 92.7 3 FM.
3 FM.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Business Daily on 3FM 92.7 with me, Bismarck Ausa. Coming up, Ghana Statistical Service urges strategic action to sustain inflation decline after April rates dipped to 21.2%. We'll hear from government statistician Dr. Alhassan Idrisu.
If this is achieved, it would really significantly and strongly contribute to the achievement of the 12% target that has been set.
Plus, Tree Crop Development Authority moves to curb illegal palm oil imports as it cites significant revenue losses.
What is happening in the oil palm sector is a lot of illicit trade. A lot of people come using so many routes to bring in the crude oil into the system.
These stories and others lined up for you. Please stay. Thanks for your company. Now to the details. The Ghana Statistical Service is urging coordinated efforts from households, businesses, and government to maintain the country's current disinflation path following a marginal drop in the national inflation rate. Year-on-year inflation eased to 21.2% in April 2025, down slightly from 22.4% in March, marking the fifth consecutive monthly decline. Addressing the media, government statistician Dr. Alhassan Idrisu described the outlook as cautiously optimistic, noting that while inflationary pressures are easing, price volatility is key in key sectors such as food and transport continues to affect everyday living.
The government has decided to reduce this primary balance on commitment basis, or let me say to improve the primary balance on commitment basis from the deficit 3.9% in 2024 to a surplus of 1.5% in 2025. This is a significant fiscal consolidation. In fact, if this is achieved, it would really significantly and strongly contribute to the achievement of the 12% target that has been set. Number two, if you look at it from the Bank of Ghana side, from the monetary policy side, the Bank of Ghana has also signaled its intention to intervene to tighten monetary policy if the need arises. And we saw in the last MPC that they had to come in to tighten when they saw some inflationary pressures. So again, complementing monetary policy with fiscal policy, in my view, would really support the achievement of the target for the 12% that has been said. Of course, there are some supply side factors as well, which are extremely important in contributing to the achievement of the 12%. So inflation, as we know, is not only on the demand side. You also always have to look at the supply side.
And that was government statistician Dr. Alhassan Idrisu. Moving on, the Tree Crop Development Authority says it is taking steps to clamp down on illegal importation of palm oil and other related products in Ghana. According to the authority, such activities evade taxation, denying the government vital revenue needed for economic development. Speaking to journalists on the sides of Africa Sustainable Commodities Initiative's 9th regional meeting in Accra, acting CEO of the TCDA, Dr. Andy Osei Okra, said the authority is working closely with regulatory bodies to address the issue.
What is happening in the oil palm sector is a lot of illicit trade. A lot of people come using so many routes to bring in the crude oil into the system, so to shut it up, and then they are not paying any tax or they are not doing the right things. So as an authority, we are going to very soon come after people like that. We are strengthening our regulatory authorities, measures, and making sure that these illicit activities in that sector, the oil palm sector, will be curtailed, especially those that bring in some vegetable oil. So very soon you hear us, a lot of stringent measures are being put in place to ensure that in the oil palm sector, the business is streamlined and we have to do business genuinely.
Dr. Osei Okra also revealed that the authority is putting plans in place to significantly boost local oil palm production, as he stressed that increasing domestic output is essential if Ghana is to reduce its reliance on imports and become more self-sufficient in the sector.
The capacity as we are exporting here or producing is over 450,000 metric tons. And then out of these, the ones we are producing is about 300,000. There's a shortfall of 150,000 metric tons that will still need the country to take up and take advantage. As even the president indicated, they are coming out with a comprehensive policy on palm oil to be able to attract a lot of the global funds into the sector. So that calls for more investment into the production of the oil palm. And as an authority, we are leading that together with UPDAT and making sure that we have good seedlings, we have good on-farm activities to enable them produce the one we are looking to be able to build a shop.
And that was Acting CEO of Tree Crop Development Authority, Dr. Andy Osei Okra. Now, data released by the Ghana Gold Board points to increased gold imports and receipts in recent months, weighted against trade volumes and revenues of the first quarters of 2023 and 2024. Volumes and values for the first quarter of 2025 recorded manifold increases, with the trend pointing to an even better future. We will closely monitor this and bring you details in our subsequent bulletins. Before we go, the Ghana Union of Traders Associations, GUTA, is calling on the government to manage speculations and sustain the cedi's recent gains. Head of Business and Economic Bureau at GUTA, Charles Kusi Apiakubi, suggests building Ghana's gold reserves through the Ghana Gold Board for international transactions. This, he explains, would reduce the country's reliance on foreign exchange and reassure traders of access to forex for their businesses, ultimately minimizing hoarding.
You look at the gold bond, how the gold board is also trying to manage gold purchases in this country, how we are gradually dwindling from the over-reliance on forex for transaction to the use of gold as a means of transaction. That is what we're looking at. So they have to give local miners the confidence that we have liquidity to purchase your produce, give them tax incentives so that we can curtail smuggling of gold. Last of it is how we manage speculation. You can manage speculation by inspiring confidence, making your words and your actions correlate with the realities in the market, so that everybody will be so much assured and convinced that I don't need to rush to buy forex as a means of store of value.
And that was the head of Business and Economic Bureau at the Ghana Union of Traders Associations, GUTA, Charles Kusi Apiakubi, ending Business Daily with me, Bismarck Ausa. For more business stories, please check out our website, it's 3news.com. Thanks for your company. Urban Blend is next with Black Rasta. Please stay.